Mr. Miller, you're a limousine driver.
Yes.
You drove Miss Buck and some of her friends to a location. You brought her home. She gave you a check for $240 for your services. She stopped payment on the check. That's what you're suing for, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
But I've read your answer, Miss Buck, and I think I'm going to start with you because I would like to know how you made these arrangements. You're going to tell me why you made these arrangements for a limousine. Do you usually travel by limousine?
No, ma'am.
So tell me about it.
No, Your Honor.
So tell me about it.
I was celebrating my 50th birthday on December 9th, 1995, and I decided to surprise my guests with a chauffeured limo pickup and also a surprise luncheon destination. So I called and I arranged a 4-hour minimum at $50 an hour plus a 20% gratuity of $40, bringing the total amount to $240. The day before, on Friday, December the 8th of 95, I contacted Mr. again to confirm everything and to go over the directions, the destination, and the fact that it was indeed a surprise destination for my guest. On Saturday, December the 9th, Mr. Miller showed up in his 91 Lincoln Town Car to pick up my group.
How many people were you?
A party of 8 total.
Where did they all sit in the town car?
It's a stretch limo.
Okay.
And, excuse me.
How did you know it was a 91?
Because I found out in discussions further after the fact that he told me it was a 91.
Okay.
And we all got in the car, and my group was very excited because they were immensely surprised by the chauffeured limo pickup. And when we were headed down the road, Mr. Miller leaned over his right shoulder and said, "Where are we going?" And I said, "You don't know where we're going?" And he said, "No, I don't." And I said, "Well, it's supposed to be a surprise. It's a surprise destination." And he says, "Well, I don't know where we're going. I'm sorry." And I said, "Okay, it's the Bel Air Hotel." Then I turned to my group and I said, "I'm sorry. This was supposed to have been a surprise, and it's been ruined because the driver doesn't know where we're going." And then I said, "Do you know how to get there?" And he said, "No, I don't." And I thought, I got very upset. And I said, "Okay, you go north on the 405, and I gave him the directions. And then I had to sit there and play navigator, so I could not enjoy being with my party and my friends because I had to watch him to make sure he didn't miss the Sunset Boulevard turnoff. And then he didn't know how to get to Stone Canyon, so I just had to guide the whole ordeal. I was just furious. I was so angry because this was supposed to have been a surprise destination, and I had to spoil it in front of my group. And I told Mr. Miller, it was evident I was upset.
No, why did you give him anything if you were dissatisfied?
I didn't want to create a scene in front of my group that was standing nearby, and I didn't want to get into it and create a scene. I was already upset anyway and about the whole limo ordeal, and I didn't want to create a scene in front of my guests. Mm-hmm. That's why. But I did. Is it okay to go ahead and talk about it? Okay, I did call the following week on Monday the 11th of 95, and he said he'd call me back, and he didn't. I wrote Mr. Miller a letter and sent it certified return receipt.
Well, a lot of time is going past at this point, but before all of this happened, you stopped payment on the check.
Yes.
Well, on what date did you stop payment on the check?
On, I believe it was December 13th. Yes, December 13th.
And why did you stop payment on the check?
Because because Mr. had promised me one thing, and what I got was a whole different story.
And when you called him on the 11th, he didn't call you back?
No.
So nothing had happened between the 11th and the 13th other than the fact that Mr. did not call you back?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, on December 9th, I was given this farm-out job.
Were you told that this was a surprise destination?
All I know, it was a birthday. I wasn't told it was a surprise.